Hola, bom dia. Carl Monson here with the Good Morning Portugal live stream, YouTube and podcast. Don't hear a lot from our podcast friends, so if you're listening to this through your ears and your headphones, do give us a shout out. Why don't you come to our Facebook page or our Facebook group, The Happy Homesteaders, and say hi. Similarly on YouTube, great to have a few comments on YouTube. I'd love to hear more. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do that on YouTube. Okay, so if you've not been with us before, Good Morning Portugal, we're looking at the news, we're looking at the weather, we do language and culture, and we have a bit of a feature as well. And the feature today is all tied up with the language and culture, and it's very much in the Happy Homesteader ballpark with what you can do with leftover bread that you've no doubt made for yourself. And we will explore sourdough more deeply. I know some people are interested in making sourdough bread at home now, so we will dive deeper into that. We've got a few loose ends that we need to go into. It's probably not very nice to call bread loose ends, is it? But we have a few themes that we want to investigate in our features section. So first of all, let's have a look at what's going on with the COVID-19 coronavirus situation. How are you today? Do let me know. You can see the hashtag there, Why We Love Portugal. I hope you had a great weekend. And yesterday for us was one of those moments where we were sat in the garden and we thought to ourselves, yes, that's why we came to Portugal. This is why we love Portugal. Please share your moments. Why we love Portugal. This is why what we came here for moment. Do let me know in the comments what you're thinking. So let's check it out. The facts, figures, news side of things before we go into the more opinionated, subjective stuff. And we'll go to the health department website and look at the current numbers. Okay, let's yes, I've got a little message there telling me about how the screen crashes. If you're a regular visitor, you'll know that the screen crashes when I share the other screen sometimes, but successfully done there. Confirmed cases in Portugal now, 25,282. Recoveries, 1,689. Deaths, sadly, over 1,000 now into four figures, 1,043, and 250,000 suspected cases around the country. And look, you can see the concentrations in Portugal, the epicenters of the infections. There you go. Look, concentration still very much in the north, and of course in the capital city, the largest number of confined cases, but the north certainly the highest concentration of cases. Yeah, min-sal.pt is where you need to go if you want to see that. As of today, the 4th of May, there is something of a relaxation of restrictions. So let's have a look at those. I'm going to go back to a Portugal news story article to tell you what's happening today. But before I do that, let's say good morning to Steve and Claire. Great weekend in the sunshine. Yes, guys, what is it you love about being in Portugal when that sunshine comes out? Obviously, the sunshine itself, the Portuguese sun. Isn't that one of those moments where it's like blazingly hot and beautiful and you can feel your skin and body warming up and you maybe hear the cicadas and the light breeze as well and you think, yes, this is Portugal. Why we love Portugal. Give us more of that. Thank you very much, Claire and Steve and Owen. I think we all did here. All hail the Sun King Ra. That's quite a good way of doing it, isn't it? And of course, happy anniversary. I'm gonna practice my Portuguese with the appropriate greeting. Steve, you might want to take some notes as well because we're getting all loved up and romantic. You may or may not want to take notes. I don't know, but certainly I'm going to help you out, I think, with some Latin lingo, Latin love-based lingo. How about that? So let's go to the Portugal news and look at this. What's changing today, basically. May the 4th. May the 4th be with us and see what the containment measures are as of today. There we go. Look, what are the new containment measures in Portugal? And let's go through them. Let's detail those now. On the 30th of April, of course, the plan for lifting the containment measures was announced, combating the COVID-19 pandemic, establishing a period of 15 days between each phase. And the general rules are that mandatory confinement for sick people and active surveillance continues. Sounds really sinister, doesn't it? General duty of home care, regardless of age or whether a person has risk factors. Mandatory use of masks in public transport, users and workers. And I believe there is a fine of 120 euros if you are not wearing a Yes, do please take what you need, Mrs. M. She was going to be in the garden with the gardening cam today, but it's not such a nice day. And we will probably do that tomorrow. We're also making toothpaste tomorrow because we talked about toothpaste before. So mandatory use of masks in public transport, users and workers. €120 fine, I believe, if you're caught not wearing a mask on public transport. In public attendance services, in schools, this is mandatory use of masks. Employees, teachers and students, except children up to the age of 6, must wear masks. Wow, what a picture that will be in classrooms. And in commercial and service establishments open to the public. A romantic meal I could have had tonight with Mrs. M, both of us with our masks on. Maximum capacity of 5 people per 100 square meters in closed spaces. Wow. Funerals. Family members are now allowed at funerals. Hand hygiene and respiratory etiquette recommendations, as well as physical distance, are maintained. Religious ceremonies, community celebrations, according to rules to be defined between the DGS and religious denominations. So those are the general rules. And specifically, as of today, the 4th of May, in work, mandatory is a teleworking regime whenever functions allow. So if you can work from home, you should work from home still. Public transport, buses with a driver's cab and disinfectant, gel dispensers on public transport by the look of it, maximum 2/3 capacity on buses and mandatory use of masks. Fines will be imposed for lack of use of masks. There you go. Public services, opening of decentralized customer service counters such as tax offices, you'll be glad to hear, and conservatories. Not sure what that would mean, conservatories. Mandatory use of mask and attendance by appointment at such places. Local commerce, opening of stores. This is as of today, opening of stores with open doors to the street up to 200 square meters, bookstores and the car trade, regardless of the area. Mandatory use of masks, operation from 10 a.m. and capacity of 5 people per 100 square meters in hairdressers, manicurists, and similar. I think dentists are included in that as well, by appointment and specific conditions. So, for example, my local barber, yes, believe it or not, I use a local barber. Yes, she is working at an appointment system. I think that's what people are doing now. Culture, opening of libraries and archives as of today with reduced capacity and physical distancing. Possibility to practice individual sport in the open air without using changing rooms or swimming pools. Yeah, my lad was asking when we could go swimming again. Not yet, mate. Some access to beaches can open for the practice of nautical sports activities. So not sunbathing. So there you go. That's as of today, the 4th of May. Those are the changes as we make this gradual lift off from lockdown. Thank you to the portugalnews.com for that. A few more hellos. And Owen, oh, you've beaten me to it. Feliz aniversario para vocês dois. That's nice, isn't it? Happy anniversary, you two. Very good. So we're doing our language and culture, aren't we, by way of the anniversary. Good morning, everyone. Happy anniversary, Carl and Louise. So thank you so much, Eloise. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much. And yeah, I think what I was going to say was I've been to Google Translate myself this morning, and here is the official thing I should be saying, and other romantics may wish to take note as well. So there you go. Happy anniversary, my love, would be, let's hear the lady say it.
Feliz aniversário, meu amor.
Meu amor. That's the one bit to remember, isn't it? Start sneaking that into your conversations, folks, and let me know how that goes. Obviously not with strangers, but with your loved ones and those you want to impress on a romantic level. Meu amor. Or querida, I think you can say as well. Meu amor. But here we go.
Feliz aniversário, meu amor.
She sounds drunk, doesn't she? Feliz aniversario, meu amor. So there you go. That's happy anniversary, my love. Feliz aniversario, meu amor. Sounds beautiful, doesn't it? But that's the beauty of the Latin languages for you. And good morning to you, Dawn. Should we have a quick look at the weather? It was a beautiful day yesterday, wasn't it? And that's, of course, why I have on the screen why we love Portugal. Tell us more of your moments. For me, yesterday, I got the barbecue going, an improvised barbecue of an old aluminium colander with a kind of draining grid that I found. Put that on top, takes the beautiful Portuguese veg coals, charcoal, and we barbecued in the garden yesterday. And then when I took the dogs out later in the evening, a glowworm, a firefly. I just saw this flashing light, and I thought, is that a security light and an alarm, flashing in on the wall there? And it's a firefly. Those three things really, sat in the garden in the sun, building the kids a tree house. Check it out. Pictures are on Happy Homesteaders group on Facebook. But being in the garden in that warmth, feeling the warmth on your body, your bones being warmed up. The barbecue, cranking up the barbecue. I felt like a proper Portuguese man, cranking up the barbecue. And then in the evening, took the dogs across the road and there's a firefly in the sky. Those are my reasons why I love Portugal. What are yours? Please do let me know. And yeah, comment from Louisa there. I think it's going to be Toothpaste Tuesday tomorrow. We're going to make some toothpaste live on air, and we are going to get Louisa going out in the garden in her dressing gown as she does, and candidly going around the garden with the garden cam of the Good Morning Portugal live stream. Okay, so let's have a look at that weather. I mentioned weather, didn't I? This is where sometimes we crash the show by loading this particular site. Let's try it. Boom, we're done. We're good. I'm scrolling through these. Sorry if it's a little bit uncomfortable on the eye, but I'm getting a sense of how the weather's changing over the week. You see that with it's a bit cloudy here. it's nice and mild, but you can see here from the figures that the high is coming back again midweek. Let's have a look at somewhere you might recognize. Coimbra, for example. Yeah, going back up to 25 on Thursday in Coimbra. Cloudy, to be fair, but sun peeking out from behind those clouds across the country. Scrolling down and looking at this picture. 26 degrees in Faro on Thursday. Let's have a look in, La Area, 20. Yeah, not so warm there. Santarém, a few of Good Morning Portugal, massive around Santarém area, 26 degrees. So there you go. It's picking up as the week progresses, getting warmer midweek, and then the weekend. Look, more rain coming back at the next weekend. So get out in the garden during the week would be my recommendation. And Visieux, for those of you that way, yeah, the spiking again, 24 degrees on Thursday, and then going pretty dismal actually for the coming weekend. And Madeira is obviously I was going to say Madeira is the place to go, but no, look, 15 degrees is the high on Thursday. The Azores 20 degrees, so not so warm either in the autonomous regions there. But yeah, the best of the weather midweek, I think. Looking forward to a cloudier, rainier weekend. Okay, and good morning from Sintra, from Druba. How are you, my friend? Do let us know. Excuse me. Let us know how the weather is in Sintra. Druba's doing an amazing job there as a happy homesteader. Looking forward to seeing more of your pictures, my friend. And let us finish today. Let us conclude now with our favorite Portuguese blogger, Catia Lima. And this is so much what we're about, because there's a little bit of language in it, a little bit of culture. And the staff of life, bread, is involved in a recipe I'm going to share with you now. Did you know that it was Mother's Day yesterday in Portugal? My neighbor, Alda, over the way there, she told me it was Mother's Day and to look after Louisa. Isn't it nice to have neighbors taking care of you like that? They've got your back, which I would like to think is very Portuguese as well. Beyond Lisbon, Experience Portugal, Beyond Lisbon with Catia Lima here. And this is one of her old blog pieces, but thoroughly relevant as of yesterday. Look at that lovely loaf there. And she was celebrating this recipe because it was Mother's Day in Portugal yesterday, Dia de Mãe. Mai and pai, aren't those good words as well for mum and dad in Portugal? In Portuguese, Mai is mum. And she was saying this is a recipe she wanted to share because it was handed to her by her mother, whose mother had handed it to her. So it's through the generation. So after 2 posts talking about cakes, pies, and sweetbreads from the Alentejo region in Portugal, it's more than fair that I should dedicate a blog post to this region's bread, she says. Although there are many types of bread in Portugal, and lots of people have a regional favorite, what is your favorite, guys? Let me know in the comments. The Alentejo bread is a kind of celebrity in Portugal and almost a hallmark of quality. Besides, there's this kind of Portuguese gastronomic holy trinity with bread, wine, and olive oil. It's complicated, she says. That sounds quite uncomplicated and brilliant to me, Katia. The holy trinity of bread, wine, and olive oil can go a long way with that. Alentejo bread is usually big, has a characteristic sort of C shape and a thick crust. Oh gosh, I'm salivating just talking about it. But don't let it fool you. Inside there's a dense aromatic bread just waiting for the butter. Hardcore fans will eat it with nothing else but an underlying sense of shame. Did I really eat half a bread, half a loaf all by myself? Yes, you did. Some, however, prefer to mix it with water and a few basic ingredients like olive oil, salt, garlic, lard, and fresh herbs. It's one of those poor man's food types of dishes. That's a lovely looking loaf, isn't it? In some parts of Portugal, they're called migas, and in others, they're known as Açorda. Now, this is the recipe, okay? I first encountered Açorda, I think, in Nazaré. And it's a bit like in a restaurant, I think, Açorda. If you have a seafood Açorda, it's a bit like how a Chinese waiter might do the Peking duck thing, you know, with pull out his cutlery like a ceremonial sword and whiz up the Peking duck in front of your eyes. Or a French waiter might do that with what's it called, steak tartare, and you know, just crack the egg in there and mix it all up for you and season it. They did that with a seafood Açorda for me, which is quite a thing. But actually, I didn't enjoy it that much. It just tasted to me like a seafood porridge. But I'm sure it can be really nice. I think it was just that particular one I had. Obviously, there are loads of variants. Going back to Katia's piece here, obviously, there are loads of variants in the country, more or less mushy, more or less complicated, more or less well-known. I looked up several such recipes to share with you, but most required ingredients that aren't available anywhere in the world or were very time-consuming. Fear not, however, because I called my mum. This is what Katia says. I remember seeing my mum preparing Açorda, and it didn't imply anything complicated, only items that you probably have in your kitchen. So I asked her to prepare it for our Sunday family lunch while I took the photo. She learned this from her own mother, so I'm actually sharing a family recipe here. She told me that back in the day, even a simpler version of this was often cooked as first solid food for babies, probably with a little bit of wine as well, going back to that trinity of if they're teething, a little bit of red wine, maybe. I don't know. I'm not saying you should do that. Drink responsibly and never give alcohol to babies, obviously, I should say. As first solid food for babies with just the bread, water, and eventually a tiny pinch of salt. So without further shenanigans, here's my grandma's recipe for Açorda, courtesy of Catia Lima and her Beyond Lisbon blog here. The ingredients, very simple. Bread, can be day-old bread, preferably not completely white bread, water, olive oil, cloves of garlic, fresh parsley, and coriander. Those who don't like coriander, look away now. Bay leaf and salt. Bay leaves. Start by placing the bread in a container, like a big bowl, for example, and cover it with water. Thinly slice one or more cloves of garlic, depending on your taste, and put them in a pan along with the bay leaf and enough olive oil to just about cover everything. I think Owen's going to be especially interested in this. I don't know if you've made your own migas or Açorda, Owen. Let it fry gently over low heat so that the oil is infused with the other ingredients. Don't let the garlic burn. It should be just slightly golden. Yes, garlic, unless you're going for that burnt garlic thing on purpose, it kind of mars the taste of things, doesn't it? Turn off the heat. Look at that. That's a beautiful sight. I would just pour that on bread and eat it. Turn off the heat. Squish the excess water from the bread. Yes, with your hands, and add it to the pan. Yes, with your hands. This is the way to cook, isn't it? And there's like Katia's mum's hands in the bread there. The more fluffy white breads will absorb a lot more water and will only need about a minute or so to soak. Personally, I think this type of bread also results in a more bland Açorda. Add about 3/4 of the fresh chopped herbs and the salt and let the whole thing cook while stirring every now and then. Look, see what I mean? It does look a bit like a porridge. You can cook it longer and let it dry up a bit, or if you prefer a more mushy version, add hot water little by little while stirring. In the end, add the remainder of chopped fresh herbs and a bit of grated fresh garlic. Mix everything, cover, and let it stand for a couple of minutes before eating. Look, there you go. Enjoy as a side dish. And you will see in your probably in your barbecue chicken shop, you should square that migas is served as a side dish, and it's greener because there's more cabbage in there. I think more caldo verde. Katia and I should say thank you to Cristina Silva of Pão Café e Companhia. Is that bread, coffee, and company? Fabulous for helping this blog post come to life by staying true to the original recipes, by having provided me with so many delicious products, and her infinite patience in answering my questions. Shout out to Cristina Silva, as well as Catia Lima and Catia Lima's mum, for the Açorda recipe and the migas recipe. Happy to share that with you this morning. Gary, good morning to you. Went for a walk the other day, took some photos. Later in the evening, heard a nightingale singing. Never heard one. It was a beautiful end to the day. Portuguese moment. Beautiful. Love it, Gary. Thank you very much. From Julie Marsh, Bom dia mundo, from sunny Fundão. I'm loving this. More Portuguese being spoken on the live stream. Fabulous. Bom dia mundo. And Eloise, had my neighbours come in and turn over my land with their tractor so I can start planting. Very exciting. That's a Portuguese moment, if ever there was one. The neighbours coming to help out and you turning over your land so you can start planting. Do send us pictures, please, Eloise, of your developing site there. It'd be lovely to see those. And I also just want to talk to you about, very grateful to you folks who bought me a coffee on Friday from coffee.com, ko-fi.com. And oh, look, Mrs. M says the sun is coming out now. I just feel like it's got a little bit brighter, albeit here in the studio. If you like Good Morning Portugal, you can see the ticker tape here. This is a new feature that I'm using. Please buy us a packet of seeds at coffee.com/Carl Munson. Now, I'll finish after this, but thank you very much, Gary. Thank you, Eloise and Alison, for buying me a coffee on Friday. Really appreciate it. And this all kind of helps. You know, the purpose of Good Morning Portugal is to be a bit of a community, bit of a lifeline, bit of a support network for people wanting to live the happy homesteader life in Portugal. And I want it to be truly useful to you. And I want it to be a bit of a livelihood for us as well. So if ever you like anything, you know, the original idea was buying a coffee. And I was thinking, that's not quite right. And £3 for a coffee, not in Portugal. So I've changed how you can give us a tip, if you like, by buying us a packet of seeds. Because I thought, not a coffee, maybe it should be a beer. Buy me a beer. And I thought, no, I don't want to have that reputation. And I don't want to be drunk all the time, you know, like drinking away the profits, as it were. Packet of seeds, of course, and it's €1. So if ever you feel like you've found something useful on the Good Morning Portugal show and you'd like to show your appreciation, go to coffee.com, ko-fi.com/Carl Munson. You can buy us a packet of seeds, metaphorically, of course, for €1. And who knows, that might become a little bit of a livelihood and a support for us so that we can provide this support to you in this way. Look, I love how the Good Morning Portugal community are sharing their skills and ideas for life. What subjects are you wanting to talk about, or do you have any skills you want to share here at some point, i.e. mushroom growing, recipes, toothpaste, and growing food? It's all about that. Thank you so much, Luisa, for adding that. And I should say again to you, Feliz aniversario, meu amor. She'll like that. And do stay tuned, everybody. Do let us know what you want. Do join the Facebook group on Happy Homesteaders group in Facebook. And let's do this thing together, shall we? You know, for me, and I'll end now, but it's like, do we want to go back to normal or do we want to go back to nature? Personally speaking, I didn't think normal was so great. I moved to Portugal to get away from UK normal, and I don't really want to replace that with another kind of normal of, you know, daily stress and grind and all the stuff that we were, you know, the rat race, if you like. I want to go back to nature, not back to normal. And I'd love to do that with you guys, and I'd love to help you guys do that. And we can all, you know, virtually support each other wherever we are in Portugal. And that's what I look forward to doing with you. So thank you very much for joining me this morning. And yeah, I'll leave that note on the screen there. Do let us know what you'd like us to talk about. It should be Toothpaste Tuesday. We're going to make toothpaste, or toothpacete, which is our own special way of referring to it, here on the Good Morning Portugal live stream tomorrow. Take care. Have a great day, guys. And we'll see you again tomorrow morning. Ta logo. Ta logo.